Hello YouTube, Baltimore Splits Wiz here. This is my 4th album review, Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream, released 1993. What can I say about this album? This is incredible. I think the production in this album is unmatched by any other album in the 90s. It's incredible. Well, maybe not unmatched, but it's definitely one of the best, well-produced albums of the 90s. Start off with my review. Here's the track list: Cherub Rock, Quiet, Today, Hummer, Rocket, Disarm, Soma, Geek USA, Mayonnaise, Space Boys, Silverfuck, Sweet Sweet, and Luna. Just a bit of background. This is the Smashing Pumpkins' first successful mainstream album. Reached number 10 on the Billboard charts. And it was also notable because of the band's conflicting problems throughout the making of this album. For example, Billy Corgan suffered a nervous breakdown in the lead up to this album, plus he also suffering from a very bad case of writer's block. James Iha and Darcy Redsky just severed a romantic relationship, and Jimmy Chamberlain, he was very high on drugs at that time. So, much like Fleetwood Mac's Rumours, this album really came through well, despite the fact that there was all this shit going on. I think it mostly owes to, Billy Corgan's perfectionism. Like, he worked his absolute balls off to get this album right. Like, there's just nothing wrong with this album. It is so good. I think even Billy Corgan has said before that reporters were calling it too good because it was just it's so incredibly overproduced, but in a good way. Like, it is really, it really brings out the best of the Smashing Pumpkins sound. Let me talk a bit about Billy Corgan's guitar sound. Most songs have several replete guitar overdubs. Like, I think Billy Corgan has said that the song Soma has about 40 guitar overdubs. And I think Bush Vig, who produces the album, has said that there's been up to 100 guitar parts in every song, or some of the songs, and that's just incredible. Like, there would be no way you would be able to replicate this sound on just one guitar. It's you know easily that there are several guitar parts because it is just such a dense sounding guitar, but it is such an incredible guitar sound. Like, you never hear guitar sound like any other band. It's so unique. So it's very original, very unique, very original guitar sound. I can't really say much about James Iha and Darcy Redsky's contributions to this album because, according to news, they didn't really have any. Jimmy Chamberlain's drumming is really powerful too. I think he's one of the greatest drummers of the 90s. He's up there with Matt Cameron and Dave Grohl and all those guys. He's definitely one of the best ones. I also think the lyrics are interesting too. Like, in some ways, for example, today, the lyrics contradict the music because today is a very happy sounding song, but the lyrics are incredibly depressing. Like, they're nihilistic. You just really, it puts you in a bad place listening to the lyrics. But the music, you're just like, ah. Anyway, this is a great album. I still can't get over the fact how many guitar overdubs are used on it. Just bringing that up again, it's just insane to think about how many guitar parts are in every song. In terms of songs, my favourites, I really like Cherub Rock, which was the one I just played. This song's also really good, Disarm. It's a very good acoustic ballad. It's very nice sounding. Silverfuck I also really like. I think it's a pretty good 8-minute song. Just stops and starts. I think it's a really well it's a really well built up song. It really builds up to a really good climax. It starts off very loud, gets soft, gets loud, gets soft, and it just swirls out into a huge sonic pit of sound. And I think that was just a great sounding song. And also today it was a great song too. All the songs on this album are good. The only one song I only have a gripe on is track 12, Sweet Sweet. I do not think it really fits with the tone of the album. I actually think they should have used one of the Siamese Dream outtakes on You Find a Place as a Scarab in that place, like maybe Frail and Bedazzled or Plume. I reckon one of those two songs would have fit better than Sweet Sweet. I just didn't really get its placement. It just seemed a bit weird. It's just like, I don't really know. But that's just a minor gripe. This album's freaking incredible. I really like it. Just bringing a note, as you notice, I'm wearing my Smashing Pumpkins shirt to review it. It's a melancholy album cover, but I still like it. Anyway, a rating out of 10. This album gets 9. Definitely one of the greatest albums of the 1990s. Smashing Pumpkins, definitely one of my favourite bands of the 1990s. Excellent band. Though I've actually really gotten into these 90s bands throughout my teenage years. I was born in 1993, which was the year this album came out. So I got into them pretty late. But the reason I did is because I don't really like a lot of today's music. I reckon a lot of it sucks. There's only a few bands I like here and there, but just today's music got really boring. So as I mentioned in my Green Day American Indie interview, I was into mainstream music before then, but when I listened to them, it sort of changed my view in a way. So Smashing Pumpkins was one of the bands I got into when I was sort of getting into more alternative music, and they're one of my favourite bands, definitely one of the greatest bands in the 90s. So Siamese Dream, I give a solid 9 out of 10. Very good album. One of the greatest guitar albums you'll ever hear, in my opinion. Billy Corgan is a very underrated guitarist. Gets a really good sound. So that's my review. I'm sorry if it seemed a bit rushed, but I hope you like, and leave your comments and leave your feedback. Much appreciated. Take care.